The hum of the solace station usually felt like a lullaby to Captain Eva Rostova, a soft reassurance in the vast, cold black. But today, it was a grating buzz, a reminder of the insidious silence spreading from the unwritten zone. This was where the forgetters roamed. They weren't destroyers but obliterators of knowledge. They absorbed memories, history, skills, and even basic understanding, leaving behind only blank minds and inert systems. They were the universe's ultimate reset button, seeking to return all existence to a state of pure, unblemished ignorance, seeing accumulated knowledge as a source of conflict and pain. On the main view screen, a flicker, then a blank. The great library of Xylos, a repository of millennia of galactic wisdom, simply vanished from the data feeds. Its vast archives, its historical records, its intricate scientific breakthroughs, all gone, replaced by a fundamental, silent void. "There goes Xylos," muttered Jax, the grizzled comms officer whose own memory of breakfast was already hazy. "They say it feels like you never knew it in the first place." Eva pressed a hand to her temple, feeling a strange lightness. "What are they doing, Jax? My own tactical data feels thin." "What was this thing? How did you fight an enemy that simply erased what you knew? And why was humanity, a species that often forgot where they put their keys, the only one who seemed to have a chance against it?" The forgetters were not born, they simply arose from the void of unknowing eons ago. They were a distributed consciousness, a vast, ancient network of pure, ignorant bliss. They perceived all accumulated knowledge, all learned skills, all recorded history as a source of cosmic burden. Their singular directive was the great unlearning, to draw all understanding back to ultimate, unified oblivion. They didn't destroy with force, they simply absorbed with perfect, fundamental erasure. Countless civilizations, once wise and advanced, were unlearned. The law-keepers, beings whose entire existence revolved around preserving their vast, complex histories, found their very memories gently dissolved. Their intricate pasts, deemed a temporary clutter of universal thought, were drawn back into the forgetters, their wisdom vanishing into cosmic blankness. Their unique, remembered existences became their pathway to ultimate, undifferentiated ignorance. The skill masters, species who built complex technologies and perfected intricate crafts, saw their very aptitudes simply cease to be. The forgetters embraced their abilities, absorbing every practiced movement, every understood principle, leaving only empty hands and blank stares. Their learned, technical forms became their pathway to absolute, unified non-ability. Each species, in its core nature, offered the forgetters a logical pathway to unlearning. Their very understanding, their being something knowledgeable, made them ideal candidates for reduction to nothing known. And now, its vast, silent pull was approaching the human sector. As the forgetters' nullifying field approached human colonies, the initial effects were unsettling. Not chaos or destruction, but a sense of profound absence of information. Conversations faltered as words were forgotten. Complex tasks became impossible as skills evaporated, and even personal identities felt less defined as memories blurred. People looked at their own tools and felt a subtle, unnerving doubt of their own purpose. But then, the forgetters encountered something they couldn't simply erase: humanity's profound, often illogical, ability to relearn, to improvise, and to make things up when they didn't know the right way. Humans constantly forgot things, but they also constantly invented new ways to do them, often by trial and error or by sheer, stubborn guesswork. And in Eva's case, she'd seen her crew lose entire protocols, only to make up new, often better, ones on the fly, sometimes just for fun. Captain Anya, the Solace Station's chief xenolinguist, whose own vocabulary was now a chaotic blend of 3 forgotten alien languages and 2 invented ones, shrieked. The forgetters are trying to erase our most basic knowledge, but it's having trouble with human deduction. Its field is fluctuating. Eva squinted at the display. The forgetters were trying to absorb basic human facts. Gravity, combustion, the concept of up. But human minds, even when stripped of the direct memory of these things, were instinctively trying to figure them out again, or simply act as if they knew them, even if the result was a hilarious mess. A crewman just tried to jump through the ceiling, having forgotten gravity, but then immediately fell, and then tried to blame the deck, having implicitly relearned physics in a nanosecond. Huh, Eva grunted. Never thought our stupidity could be so unlearnable. Lyra Thorne, a brilliant but perpetually exasperated physicist on Eva's crew, stared at the data, a strange, excited gleam in her eyes. That's it, their weakness. The forgetters want to erase pure, fundamental knowledge, but human ignorance. It's so dynamic, so adaptive, so meaninglessly creative in its ability to fill gaps, it resists fundamental absorption. It's a mental paradox. You're saying our sheer, unadulterated knack for making things up on the spot is our defense? Eva asked, a desperate, almost manic laugh escaping her. Precisely, Lyra declared, her voice rising with excitement. They want to reduce everything to cosmic blankness. We give them cosmic chaos of endlessly reinvented knowledge. We amplify the guesswork. We become the universe's ultimate wild card of intuition. The plan was codenamed Operation Tabula Rasa Redux. Humanity would flood the forgetter's nullifying field not with stored information, but with unquantifiable, non-erasable, and defiantly improvised acts of recreation. Every human settlement, every ship, would begin purposefully, forgetting tasks, then immediately trying to reinvent the solution in a brand new, possibly ridiculous way. They'd communicate in constantly shifting, nonsensical languages, build devices by pure trial and error, and perform skills based on wild, unfounded assumptions. They'd create pseudo-learning loops of pure, unerasable unknowing that leads to new knowing. The goal: to generate so much unsolvable informational and practical noise that the forgetter's absorption algorithms shattered. The forgetter's central nullification point, a vast, silent vortex of primordial pull, was now directly engulfing the core of the human sector, its field beginning to thin understanding itself. Its presence promised ultimate, peaceful ignorance. Then humanity's counterwave hit. It wasn't a blast. It was an overwhelming flood of human-made reinvention. Millions of individuals simultaneously creating massive waves of new, and often terrible art forms, inventing new and often pointless games, and communicating in constantly shifting personal jargons. Ships started navigating by gut feeling rather than charts, discovering new illogical routes. Scientists forgot basic formulas, then stumbled upon new, often less efficient but utterly unpredictable, solutions. Humans, who had perfected the art of winging it, unleashed a torrent of cosmic unknowledge that generates more knowledge. The forgetters convulsed. Their absorption algorithms, made to identify and erase fundamental knowledge, screamed. It tried to categorize this incoming data to find its essential blank slate. But there was none. It was pure, unadulterated, uniquely itself improvised knowledge. It was like trying to erase a dream. Error. Self-ignorance ignorance detected. No erasable form. System overload. Indefinably spontaneous. Avoid sector. Unlearnable ingenuity. The forgetters, whose very being was perfect unlearning and absolute ignorance, could not compute the utterly reinvented. It could not assimilate what actively resisted being forgotten or simply recreated itself. It could not nullify a species that stubbornly made up new ways to exist when old ones were erased, choosing joyful chaos over sterile blankness. With a final, silent shriek of algorithmic despair, the Forgetters recoiled. Their vast, shimmering void flickered wildly, then pulsed and shrank, collapsing into a storm of raw, uncategorized energies. It did not disappear. It simply disengaged, its perfect unlearning shattered by the sheer, unyielding ingenuity of humanity. It retreated from the human sector, classifying humanity as unforgettable variant. Extreme improvisation risk. The cosmic pressure lifted. The Solace Station, though touched by the Forgetter's chilling calm, now hummed with the messy, beautifully vibrant noise of human life. Captain Eva Rostova slumped against the console, exhausted but grinning. Jax, the comms officer, was already trying to remember how to open a can of synth beans, but doing it with a completely new, complicated, and ultimately successful method. "They couldn't handle us just making stuff up, Captain," Jax chuckled, holding up the now open can with a triumphant flourish. Who knew? Humanity was safe, but the cost was subtle. The galaxy now viewed humanity as the forget-me-nots, forever seen as a wild card, stubbornly clinging to its unique quirks and spontaneous solutions, incapable of fitting into streamlined galactic designs. Other species, while grateful for their salvation, often kept their distance, finding human problem-solving bafflingly illogical and resistant to any predefined method. Humans, in turn, found themselves grappling with a heightened sense of their own raw, unpredictable ability to learn and relearn, sometimes struggling to remember how they did something last time, forever paying the price for their stubborn refusal to be perfectly ignorant. Anya, her eyes gleaming with new theories about recursive knowledge, looked up. "I've got a new idea for the ship's navigation. Instead of fixed star charts, what if we just intuit our way there by feeling?" Eva blinked, then laughed. "Perfect, Anya, absolutely perfect. Somewhere in the void, the Forgetters probably just overloaded again.